some reason this gauge, we found all those pieces inside. Unless they've come loose again, I need to stick my hand in there. I don't really want to, but it's just kind of seeped all season, and it's continuing to kind of seep. So I don't know, that's gonna make a mess over time, but I don't know. We keep kind of tightening that, but I guess I just need to stick my hand in there and see if that stuff, the washers, there's a rubber gasket, 2 of them and a washer and a zip nut. So I'm surprised that it's still leaking by, and now it's got fluid up over it, so I don't really want to take it out and replace it. So I have to watch that. But here's the other one thing. We're going to get these rebuilt, see how that one's leaking pretty bad. That one is not, but while we got them off, go ahead and get those taken to the hydraulic shop and let them rebuild those cylinders. So that's the job. I'm going to get this unhooked right now, but over on the other side, well, I'll walk over there. Let me check the hydraulics first. Hydraulic fluid's good. Engine oil's good. Starter, this is the one, I don't know if it's worth. I'll start it. You tell me if it's the starter. And then the last thing to do, at least that we know we need to fix, is this leak back in here. And I believe it's which line? I think it's this line right here. Might could tighten it. That might help. Might fix it. What I remember, Dad and I forgot it was this tractor. When I was in high school, I had that line below. Well, actually, just right over there, I was cleaning beds, I think, and I thought it was just like dust. Sometimes dry dust will just stick to the window, but it was hydraulic spots it was sticking to. So didn't drain it too low, thankfully. But we had to get that part, and we were in the middle of cotton planting. If I was cleaning beds, that was why it was time sensitive. I had to run to Oklahoma to get that line because nobody local had it, and so I made a quick trip there and back, and then we had the worst time getting that line out because it was a metal line with all kinds of crooks, and so getting it out, I think we just had to bend it to break it to get it out. But then we had to feed that new one back in, and it was a total chore. And so that was this tractor. I didn't remember that, but Dad remembers that. I remember that. So hoping it's not busted like that one was. I'm hoping it's just a fitting or something. Connections come loose. If not, we are going to look to see if you can just replace that with a rubber hose and just bypass the metal line. Okay, listen to this start. Okay, we figured it's a starter, or it could be the fuel pump. A guy in the comments said that it sounded like his tractors when the SCV went out, which is where the remote's back there where the hydraulic lines plug in. So I don't know how you'd know that, but he said that's just what it was for his, and then it fixed it. So just see what you think. And that's been pretty normal lately. The batteries I put on new at the beginning of last year, beginning of this year. So they're like not even a year old. So that's why it makes me think starter, if it's kind of taking a while to get the engine to turn over, unless it's a fuel issue and the fuel pump's not getting good pressure to the engine, or it's the SCVs, or it's something else. What do you think? Well, no doubt that was easier with this tractor. The problem here I have is, though, I pushed some dirt in here because this is kind of washed out and it's really soft, and I'm kind of leaning, and I'm a little bit, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get one of those railroad ties underneath there because of this hole here. So what to do? If I let the front down, some, I'll be able to get the back in. Then I'll be able to pick the front up, I think, and get one underneath there. and then I can build up, kind of push some dirt so before I can get it out later underneath the wheel, is what I'm saying. So, okay, I think it's gonna work. We're gonna try it right here. I'm pretty parallel to the barn for the most part. So I'm gonna get some blocks. We're gonna try getting it on blocks. Now the other side. Think it's gonna fit? Let's go look. I doubt it. Not too bad. Won't take too much to get that one under there. Another reason why I want to get that off, just because the way those, I don't really like the angle that those tires and rest. Now I am leaning this way, so that's part of it, but still they just do that. Actually got to get this one out of the way first, so I can tip the whole nose down. It's going to require some in and out of the tractor, but it's not terrible. Okay. So now, I'll let the nose down a little bit. That should raise the back up. Just like this. That one is in generally the same location as the other. Yeah. All right. Now, I raised the hitch up. It's nice to have these buttons out here. Okay. I know it's resting back there. I bet it's not bad. It's not gonna be too much. I gotta go override the stop in here. So that let me just come up just a little bit more. Which should get me right and under there. Perfect. Same on the other side. All right. Now let's let everything down. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and release that. Well, that's kind of the idea. Resting on the blocks everywhere. Letting those wheels come off the ground so there's no weight on them. Sure seems high because of that hole there. I don't see why, unless I need to bring these blocks closer to the middle. Is that too much? Too big of a span? I think I'm gonna leave it. I mean, normally we'd move the tramper to straddle the front and the wheels, but since there's no weight on the wheels, I'm gonna leave the tramper over the top, so there's heaviest is there at the front. It's supported directly underneath it with blocks, and then the rest of it's just the cage. There's some extra weight back here because of the gate and the cylinder and such. So I got supports there. I mean, it's pretty stout metal here, I-beams at the top for the track, and this tubing at the bottom, and bracing. I don't think there's going to be any kind of flex that cause problems. I don't think. You tell me if you see something wrong, and I can. The only thing I would consider maybe is sliding those forward, but then I'd be afraid. I don't know. I guess I know I could tip the nose forward and it would slide, but tell me, I think it's going to be okay. All right, turn the pump off, or the fluid to the pump. Got to do some this setup worked pretty slick, tying it into the starter here. And if you're wondering, yes, the starter was acting funny before we put the builder on here. So it's not, didn't start messing up after we put the builder on here. Should be able just to pull it through. We didn't have any issues after we put this tighter chain on here. Tighter chain, bigger chain. Although I do like the other design for the other builder better, where it has a positive stop it hits against. Take off pump. Now I don't really know. I know where it goes, obviously, but how best to get it to rest up there without a bunch of tension on the hoses. I think it's got to go the way I was just trying, but kind of awkward. And the hoses are longer than they were. Maybe try from this side. that's better having it up like that. I don't know. Completely disconnected. Pump is off. All my electrical, hydraulics are disconnected. The builder is secured. I think I'm good to pull away. I don't know what I think about this here. Let's try pulling away. Thankful that builder is what I thought it could be. Now I just need a really good crop to really test it out, you know. On to the next one. That tire starts getting flat. Which it's going to still do that, but at least I can take the weight off of it. That should help. Looks good. I like this design better, but see how this at rest, this is resting against this, and then that's the way the pressure also is going. So ours is chained over there, whereas this is not going anywhere unless this part broke. So I'm gonna try to come up with something like this. It's just not as good a bolting options as this one had. These have just stops that I don't need because I'm going to let those cylinders down. That tire right there. It's probably as close as I dare to do this by myself. I think, yeah, I'm in line pretty good here at the back. That's most important, that I don't stick out in case I gotta get something in and out of there, which I inevitably will have to. I think I'm gonna put these a little bit closer towards the front, yes. Kind of looks goofy seeing those up like that, but keeps them off the ground, keeps the cylinder rod sucked up in there, so that should protect all that better. Gets these things off the ground. It's no good, I don't have to do it again, but we're gonna try it. Try to keep track where that went. This is the one I can never remember. I have a hard time getting that bolt loose. I think my impact sockets are always too thick, so yeah, my new sockets are too thick. So it takes a regular chrome socket to be able to get that out. For Christmas I got some new these are called ratchets, right? Ratchet. My other ones were terrible, and that came in my toolkit that I've had for lots of years. It just, they keep slipping. It won't stay in gear. I'm hoping that this can come off without having to raise this 3-point back up. Could be tight. These pumps are stinking heavy. PTO's clear. All my hoses are clear. Last thing for the builders. So I made this little cover for the CMC just because, so it keeps the oh, I'll get what I'm trying to say. Doesn't fit near as good as it did before. Something's not quite the same. But anyways, it so it keeps that PTO seal. It sits upright on Dad's, and so it's just a place for water to get, and kind of ruin this seal. This one I like. It's okay. It's not gonna get any of that kind of direct water to sit on it, but I don't like the way the hoses are bent. Still kind of bent like this on this one, so I don't know. I don't know what to do here, but that at least gets this covered and out of the weather. Well, that was a short day. Stuff that, you know, you get done with harvest and you don't really want to do anything. So this was a big step for me to have to get out there and go do something productive. So glad to get those builders unhooked, and we'll see how it works on those railroad ties. I don't see why it wouldn't be good, just different, but I think it's gonna work. So now everything's unhooked. We can actually drive around the barn again now, and I can start thinking about next steps on just different things. I'm gonna go home soon. It's the spring. You know, there's nothing like super pressing, although I can't just have that attitude for too long, because it will catch up to me. Because I am gonna need to spray the fallow ground soon, so I need to get that 8130 going. Got to do stuff's just got to get done. I just got to keep whittling away at it as the days go. So I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna do a couple more things here. I'm gonna call Dad. He's gonna come and bring me something, and then I'm gonna go home. So I'm gonna do a few more things, and then that's it. And I don't know if I'll see you tomorrow or not, but I'm gonna farm, and you're gonna watch it. And if you're gonna farm it.